in the market for a house. There are listings everywhere. You just gotta wait till the full moon and check behind the Costco. Am I right?
All right, Sean, you're never going to believe what I heard from Crazy Uncle Eddy this time.
What's up?
He tells me that all the listings are just shot, and the best way to find a deal is to go behind Costco.
Where do you get this stuff?
I don't know. I don't know where it comes from.
I don't know if there are any houses behind Costco in our area.
He's telling me that due to the seasonality, right,
Okay,
the listings are just vaporizing. They're just disappearing. And the only place to find them. What do we really see, or where do we figure out what's happening seasonally for your particular area?
You've got to have a place where you can go where you can see the trends in the market and what's happening over time. And so obviously it's AreaPro. That's where you're going to go to get this information. You can see the flow of listings. You can see the flow of sales. You can see what prices are doing over time. And in most areas that I'm looking at, as you know, I'm talking to agents all across the country, and I'm seeing something's really unique. One of the trends that we see in the holiday season, and as things get colder, and I know not all seasons are cold like we are, but it's still, I think, is pretty universal that in the winter season, sales start to decrease, and that scares a lot of sellers. And I hear all the time as I'm out on appointments, like, I worry about selling in the winter because nobody's buying in the winter. The reality is it's kind of true. And in fact, in our area, sales drop 50% between the height in August and the low in January. But what else goes down at the same time?
Inventory goes down.
Inventory goes down as well. You have people that take their house off the market because it's not as convenient to sell in the winter. And if you don't have to, then why? Why have people traipsing snow through your living room if you don't want to? And so if those two things stay consistent, if they trend together, the overall market condition doesn't change. The odds of selling doesn't change. If sales are dropping and inventory is going up, that's a real problem.
Right.
If sales are dropping and inventory is dropping, when it comes down to your odds of selling as a seller, and our agents need to understand this, because agents have a hard time getting listings in the wintertime because people will flat out tell them, I don't want to sell in the winter, but let's talk again in March or April.
I want to wait till spring.
Yeah, and the agent's like, gosh, well, I'd really like having something in my pipeline for April, but I really would like to have a Christmas for my kids too. Now, of course, at the end of the day, if it's not the right thing for that seller to sell in the winter, we don't want to manipulate them into doing it. But I can't tell you how many times I have shown the facts to sellers and have them go, oh, my odds of selling aren't worse in the wintertime. Let's do it. Let's list the house and go, because you're in their house for a reason. They're thinking about it, so let's get them off the fence with real data, not Uncle Eddy stories. A lot of sellers prefer to sell in the winter because they're going to have half the showings, which is way more convenient. And everyone that walks in their house in the middle of the wintertime is a serious buyer.
Yeah.
When's the last time you and your wife, you've been kicking tires for 18 years?
Yeah.
Yep, as long as I've known you. You've been kicking tires, and every once in a while I'll get a call from you and you'll be like, hey, come and maybe show my wife and I this property. Have you ever done that in the wintertime?
No.
Never.
No. We
Never.
only do that. We only do that when it's nice outside. We're looking for a
Which is
stroll.
weird. I know, but you really do. And someday you're going to buy, and it's going to be in the winter.
One of these days.
Yeah.
Maybe I should
Buy
start
another
kicking
house. You
tires
already
in the
have a
winter.
house. AreaPro tells that story. It shows our agents. It shows you as an agent in a way that you can just turn your laptop facing the client or your iPad or your phone, and you can show them the facts, and they can go, oh, my odds of selling don't really change in December or January, despite everything I've heard, which says sales are bad. That's pretty powerful to help them make the right decision for themselves.
Yeah, I think it's really important to make sure that you have the data so that you can share it with your clients, and you can go back and show them actually when the high points are and when the low points are. I was actually just looking at one of the areas in our area, and we have the ability to go back and look now 13 months of data.
Yep.
So we can see right now it's November, we can see what happened last November.
Yep.
Right. And based on what you just told me, we should start to see the decline, right?
Yeah.
I was looking earlier and noticed that our highest week of close sales was actually in November last year.
Oh, interesting.
In the last 13 months.
That's cool.
And so even though we do see a seasonal trend, and yeah, we're going to start to see things kind of slow down.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that we're actually like dead in the water, right? I think a lot of people, kids go back to school and they assume, all right, time to stop. And the reality is the data shows completely otherwise, and that we've got a lot of movement, a lot of traffic.
Yep. So Uncle Eddy's going to continue. Can't do anything. He's always going to exist.
You'll find him behind the Costco, but that's not where you're going to find your listings. And so,
there's always business to be had every month of the year. So don't let the market stories and the crazy Uncle Eddies deter you from getting out there and getting business and using the tools that will set you apart. So leave comments for us. We'd love to hear what you think and what AreaPro is doing for you. And also, we always love the crazy Uncle Eddy stories. So drop them in the comments, and we'll catch you on the next episode.